We're moving from instructing computers with step-by-step directions to training computers to learn by showing them a huge number of examples. Could you describe what that moment was like from your perspective?
And in fact, in 2012, Ilya Sutskever and Alex Krzyzewski and Jeff Hinton in the University of Toronto, the lab that they were at, they reached out to a GeForce GTX 580 because they learned about CUDA and that CUDA might be able to be used as a parallel processor for training AlexNet. And all of a sudden, we saw AlexNet, this new algorithm that is completely different than computer vision algorithms before it, take a giant leap in terms of capability for computer vision. And when we saw that, it was partly out of interest, but partly because we were struggling with something ourselves. And so we were highly interested to want to see it work. And so when we looked at AlexNet, we were inspired by that. But the big breakthrough, I would say, is when we saw AlexNet, we asked ourselves, how far can AlexNet go? If it can do this with computer vision, how far can it go? And if it could go to the limits of what we think it could go, the type of problems it could solve, what would it mean for the computer industry and what would it mean for the computer architecture? And we rightfully reasoned that if machine learning, if deep learning architecture can scale, the vast majority of machine learning problems could be represented with deep neural networks. All of this came from that observation that we ought to reinvent the entire computing stack layer by layer by layer.
Think about this as a whole story. So parallel processing reinvents modern gaming, it revolutionizes an entire industry. You invest in that by building CUDA, and then CUDA and the use of GPUs allows for a step change in neural networks and machine learning and begins a revolution that we're now seeing only increase in importance today.
All of a sudden, computer vision is solved. All of a sudden, language understanding is solved. It's incredible.
You're looking ahead and believing that that's the future that you're going to be living in now. And you're making bets that get you there, really big bets that have very high stakes.